A very warm welcome back to Almaty, Kazakhstan and the World Weightlifting Championships. The big screen are showing these pictures inside the Balwan Sholak Sports Palace, and every time the Kazakhs come up, there's big cheers, and rightly so. Milka Maneva is here, Olympic champion, albeit from a lighter weight category. Hasn't done too much since in terms of international competition, but we certainly know her quality, and the way the rest of the Kazakh team have turned up here, absolutely on fire. Their head coach has got them prepped well. And we're just seeing the final stages of the warm-up, and the Kazakh athletes likely to come in later on. It's a rising bar competition. Of course, you have snatch, and then you have the clean and jerk element after, and you add the two together and get the total world champion. Here at the World Championships, though, you do get medals for the snatch and the clean and jerk individually, but the big medal is all about the total. Well, the Kazakhs have had a good start with Chin Shanlao getting 2 golds, the overall in her weight category, and of course the clean and jerk and the world record as well. So Maya Meneza maybe under a little pressure here. It's a home platform, as we're looking at one of the weightlifters from the People's Republic of Korea. Alongside me, Colin Bryce, of course, is Michaela Breeze, 2 times Olympic athlete in weightlifting. Michaela, you did compete at this weight category a little bit, so you do appreciate these weights. You tended to lift in lighter categories, though.
Yeah, this is right, the 69 kilo category. This was heavier than I ever was. I never made a full 69. I just competed overweight when I was at 63, so natural training weight was about 64, 65 kilos. So I would enter a couple of low-level competitions to just break the records.
Well, this is interesting. Maya Meneza is coming out at the lightest weight here, 95 kilograms. The Olympic champion. Perhaps just coming out to cheer to her fans. That couldn't have been any easier. And maybe she's not here to win. Maybe she's just here to take part and enjoy. I don't know. What's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts are that, yes, she may be Olympic champion, but she's bought into the team here to try and make up points to make sure they qualify their full quota of athletes before the next Olympic Games. We haven't seen any results from Meneza since the London Olympics, so it wouldn't surprise me if she's had a bit of downtime, bit of recovery, maybe suffered an injury here or there, but is now making her comeback as she builds up over the next 2 years before the next Olympic Games in Rio. Obviously an athlete not in the best shape of her life, but good to see her back on the international stage. Likewise, Delusion that we're about to see here, she's been off the stage for a couple of years.
Delusion of Armenia coming out for 97 kilos to get her campaign here at the World Championships underway.
Some good lifting, and it's great to see Delusion back on the platform. Bombed out in London, also bombed out the World Championships in 2011, so back on the big stage and nailing her first attempt.
Yes, and actually pretty easy. I think maybe the coaches know that. She has got a tendency to not handle the big stage, so an easy weight, a really easy weight actually to just to get her into it.
Well, in relation to her personal best, 1:15 in the snatch, that was performed back in 2010, so that's 4 years ago. Not sure how close she can get to that today, but starting on a comfortable weight.
Well, I think she's still a junior as well. Ryu of People's Republic of Korea has got the expected highest start at 1:13. You only get 3 attempts, of course, but that may well be coming down. And actually, recently, I think Chen's popped hers up to 1:20, the Chinese. But we still have some time to go until then. Now, the American from Georgia, she's just stepped out of the junior ranks. It is Jenny Arthur. Second at the Pan American Championships, where she had a good tussle with Solis Abolida of Colombia, who's also here.
Well, the Americans, like many of the teams here, are trying to accumulate points as a team to see how many athletes they can qualify for the Olympic Games. The Americans now being coached by one of the Polish coaches who has emigrated, I guess. He's been coaching them for 2 or 3 years now. The Americans are starting to come through. Good to see them lifting in the A group.
Ilka Maneva. We've seen her many times competing now on European and world stage. 98 kilograms to open her account. She has come out a lot lighter before. A more natural weight for her, this.
98 snatch, first attempt, 103 personal best, which was done this year. That'll be a disappointing start. She's an athlete that can really get into the zone. Good fun to watch. Not when she misses her first attempt.
Yes, and I mean, she certainly weighed in the lightest of all of the women, 66.7, but you know, it's a long way down at that weight to go all the way down to the next category, and I guess she's just sick of really skipping all those meals and dehydrating before competing. You remember her last year at the Europeans and Worlds, and you know, almost dizzy walking off stage.
Well, she's only weighing 66, nearly 67. You know, it's not that far to come down to 63, but obviously she's made that decision. I want to move up. She's not quite at the top of the weight category, so is not using the full weight limit, but that will come over the next couple of years, particularly in the next Olympic cycle. Yeah, 66.7. That's like over 3.5 kilos. I mean, it's 8 pounds. It's, I guess that's in percentage terms, it's a fair chunk. But you know better than me. You lifted these weights. Now, Jenny from the US missed her opener and nails it on the second. Sensibly comes out for the same weight there. A sensible choice by the American coaches, as I mean, this is her first time on the world stage, and of course the first time America has had anyone in the A group in this World Championships. Well, it was a much more convincing attempt than her first, only just out of the junior ranks, 21 years of age, good extension, good float on the bar, a little soft in the receiving position, but the bar was in the right position, so no problem at all.
Ilka Maneva to attempt that 98 again for a second time.
Much better attempt. Maintained the weight through flat feet as the bar came off the floor. Her previous attempt, she lifted her bottom up, dropped her chest, and that pulled her forwards. This was much more in control, much more the lifter that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I think she'll comfortably go over 100 kilograms having seen this now. Certainly pulled it high enough. Here is one of the rock stars of Kazakhstan, if you like, Maya Maneza, Olympic champion from 2012, who's stepped up a weight. She's actually the second lightest athlete here, just 4 grams heavier than Maneva. Like Maneva was in that lighter category at the Olympics, but of course she won that day. But you can clearly see she's not quite in the shape she once was, but this is more like a training session and giving the crowd what they want to see. Even if she finishes 8th, 9th, 10th, she's coming out to get points for her team, and it will be respected so. And you can see that no doubt the media have been told that she's doing this to help the team. And
she looks like she's enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's 29. Perhaps her best weightlifting days are behind her. You can see her knees are heavily strapped. Hard to know.
Sits so straight in that receiving position. Great range of movement around the shoulders, the hips, knees and ankles.
Here's the Colombian coming out for her first, and going to be going over 100 kilograms now. Around 102 is what we expect the Colombians to be coming in at. Bar's just getting changed at the moment. This is Solis Arboleda, Pan Am champion. 24 years old, 3 times Pan American champion. And she doesn't come from Cartagena, where so many of the weightlifters from Colombia do. She's over on the Pacific coast, not far away from Cali. Yeah, the coach is saying keep your back up, very strong.
Oh, just let it go out the back door. Bit of swing on the bar, very difficult to control overhead.
So 102, a failure, I'm afraid. And she's certainly worth quite a bit more. 107 she's done on a couple of occasions, so 102 should be comfortable. Lujian gone up 5 kilograms, 102.
Oh, solid overhead, has to work hard. She's going to be pleased with that. Back onto the world stage. Coaches are happy. Stands up nice and strong from that bottom position.
Yes, indeed. Very happy with that, Delujian.
Slightly too far in front of the bar, but look at that, right underneath the weight.
She'll have one more lift. This is the second for Solis Arboleda. And this should be a comfortable weight for her. If she misses this, she'll be under some pressure. Just keep your chest up, says the coach.
Oh. Very disappointing.
Well, this is frustrating, you can see, for her, and worrying for the Colombian team, who've been firing on all cylinders, actually. They've been doing brilliantly. Of all of the South American nations, Colombia's had a colossal representation in this championships. Here's the Chinese girl, Chen. She's still expected to come in at 120, and sure, it's good to see an American in the A group here. So well done to Jenny Arthur, coming up a 102, having hit 98 in the last. And I've got a feeling we're going to see more Americans, you know, especially with the rise of CrossFit. And it's all numbers, isn't it? And at the top, you have the top of the pyramid, you have good lifters coming through, and it's suddenly on everyone's radar in America now.
It is. They're doing great. The Americans have really catapulted CrossFit into the limelight. It's now kicking off over here in the UK. More and more people looking to get involved. I'm doing a lot of work with CrossFitters at the moment. Good to see more come through and be able to compete on the national and international stage in the future. A little soft. I'd like to see more explosion, much more aggression. And receiving the bar in a much more dynamic position. That'll come. She's young. More time to develop. It takes many, many years. So for those people in the CrossFit industry who are having a go at lifting, almost certainly getting frustrated with the technical aspect of it, stay patient, stay focused, stay on the light weights until you master the basics before trying to load and get the heavy weights out.
Milka Maneva, long armed, isn't she? Very wide grip. She has to. A long way to travel, that bar, but by going so wide, you can see there it's only just above her head in the end, and a solid lift.
It was, and we talk about the size and stature of some of these athletes. Ideally, you want short levers, short arms and legs, and a long back for leverage. But look how deep she sits into that squat position, hands wide, and that kind of counteracts the problem she's got with how tall she is.
Yes, it's really only the super heavies and the men's who really start to run out of bar, don't they?
Hands right out as far as they go. The women generally don't tend to go that far.
Yeah, there's a slightly different bar, of course. It's 5 kilograms lighter, a bit thinner, the women's bar. Now, The Colombian here going for 102 again. She's missed it twice. Big moment.
Oh, look at the aggression there. Why wasn't that there on the first attempt? So much better. She's going to be kicking herself, a lifter with much experience.
I mean, you really need a do-or-die attitude on every lift when you step onto the World Championship stage, don't you? You can't just have a feel up there. And that's very true, in fact, of all snatching, isn't it? You really have to believe and get under it.
Completely. You can't approach these weights half-heartedly. We're looking now at even starting weights are going to be at least really 95% of a 1-rep max. So you're looking at 95% effort. Well, hang on a minute, when you're on this kind of platform with this kind of adrenaline, let's give it 100% and hope for the best. But you can't come out here giving 70, 80, 85%. It's not good enough.
Well, at the top, it's Afanasieva of Russia, who's a new Russian who's come through from the B group, who hit 107. And you can see there was another lifter there, Mamasalieva of Uzbekistan, and that went earlier on. She managed to do well as well, hitting a 131 in the clean and jerk. They're the best lifts from the B group. There's Jan's final.
No.
Oh, no. Elbows have gone. 104 it was. She knew even if she brought it back in, there's no points because it would have been a failure. Can't bend your arms, it's got to go to a straight lock and then be held there. Well, actually, Maya Meneza, she might have started at 95. Now she's going all the way up to 105 here, so the Olympic champion, who's doing a bit for her team here, getting points. This is a pretty solid weight all of a sudden.
It is a solid weight. She's taken 5 kilo increments, which now on her third attempt has put her back in the running. But from the previous 2 attempts, to me, looked a little soft, a little bit like she's here just to make up the numbers. If she's going to be successful with this, we've got to see a lot more aggression, a lot more fire in the legs.
So 105 kilograms. She's got a near golden record. The major championships she's entered. Only the World Championships in Paris she's had a silver medal. The others gold.
Look at the difference in attitude. So much better. Approach that weight like she really wanted it. Incredible lifting, and you can see the smile on her face. That's only 5 kilos below the weight lifted in London to take the gold medal, so she's got to be pleased with that.
Yes, Dr. Alexei Nee there, the spectacled coach of the Kazakh team. He oversees their training, and you can see how happy he is that his athlete has come out and lifted 3 out of 3, the Olympic star. And you know what? She's in 3rd place now in the snatch. There's 2 women, remember, from the B group who've done 107. She's the highest, of course, what we've seen here from the A group. And if you're new to weightlifting, the A group are basically those who on current form and on expected totals are, well, exactly that, expected to come out and be the top. But those from the B group could win this World Championships. Let's not forget that, it has happened in the past. Now, Zhananovets, 112 was her expected opener.
Well, we've gone from seeing a lifter who hasn't been on the stage since 2012 to a lifter in picture now. Zhananovets, who is in great shape this year. 117 she's performed already this year, so is starting only 5 kilos below that. Current European champion as well. Solid, dynamic receiving position. I think there's a few more kilos there today.
Yes, and a big jump there from 105 to 112. And now the battle really begins, because we have the young Kazakh, and here she comes, Zaprakol, who hasn't done that much in the past, but she's just been, her graft of improvement has been extraordinary. The last couple of seasons, better and better. 113 her opener here. Big opener.
Just having a little walk around. No problem, as long as I stay on the platform. Now we've got A young lifter here, only 21, obviously rising through the ranks quite rapidly. She's posted a 105 at the weigh-in 2 hours ago. This is 8 kilos up on that. Now, whether that was intentional or whether she's taken this weight now to try and stay with the medals, just watch where she lets go of the bar. Above the shoulders, needs to be careful. The rules specified, but the hands must remain on the bar past shoulder height. She was borderline.
Yeah,
the referees can overturn that decision.
A brave jury to step in on that one in Kazakhstan. You see how packed the crowd is here.
If I were coaching right now, I would have given her a thick ear and said, hey, come on, stay focused.
Don't get carried away, young lady, yes. Good to see her control her nerves, though. Probably helps having Meneza, the Olympic champion, there. Almost like a big sister figure carrying her through. They get on well, train together. So here comes Ryu of the People's Republic of Korea, the only junior in this competition, coming out at 115 kilograms, and after her, just Chen, the Chinese, to join them. The junior world record in snatch, 128, so a long way away from that still.
Sits into the left side. Just taking a second at the bottom to steady herself before standing. That's fine, you can sit there as long as you want, but it doesn't have to take some energy out of you.
It's the junior world record is the same as the Asian record and the world record, so it's not a soft one, I'm afraid. She's going to have to work if she's going to get anywhere near that, and she'll break all 3 in one hit, as it were. So 115, good solid lift. And when is Chen going to join in? So Ryu has 2 lifts to come. Suzanovets of Belarus 2. Zapakul, the Kazakh, the young Kazakh, she has 2. And there we go, you can see it just there. They're the top 3 at the moment. 3 kilos of spread between them. But Chen still to join in. And not coming in yet. Brave lifting being called by the Chinese coaches here. 117. Suzanovets, 24-year-old Belarusian. The reigning European champion. Ooh!
Well, through the bar, out in front. I'd like to see a side replay of this if we can.
She does at 117 she did at the European Championships.
So it's right in line with her best.
Yeah, that
onto her toes. Onto her toes. Has to pull the bar back onto her thighs. Compensates then by driving the bar forwards with her thighs, with her hips, sorry. Swings the bar out in front. There's a Parkle there just pacing around. Has put her next weight from 117, which they chose, up to 118. And you know what? Has that thrown Suzanovets straight back in with less than a minute now to recover?
Well, yes, at the moment, but Chen has brought her weight down to 118, so no surprises. The Chinese have posted a massive scare you weight and then brought it down. So at the moment, Suzanovets, having missed that, it's flipped over to someone else and now back to her. She's going to have to come out here as Zapakul's doing 118 and so is Chen.
Clock's on 20 seconds. Just making the most of that. I really don't like this rule. It does not give the lifter any time to recover.
Yes, they should really have 2 minutes to follow themselves, but when it flips over to someone else and back, they lose that. Just a minute, so she's under pressure. Ooh!
Tremendous strength.
Hold it, and, well, I think it was just shoulder movement. Is she going to get that one?
Yeah, she'll get that.
Ay, ay, ay.
Just see her holding her elbows. That is going to place tremendous strain on the shoulders and elbow joints. I don't fancy seeing the replay here. Just see the strain that her elbows are under.
Yeah, well, I mean, she corkscrewed up as well with her hips. Not good for the back. She did have a bit of flexion there on the right arm, but got away with it. Good lift. And finally, Chen Yuxuan of China comes in at 118, last competitor to join in. And if she gets this, of course, she will just go straight to the top and have 2 lifts left in the snatch. Third at the Asian Games in 2013. She's been waiting in the wings. There's so many good Chinese lifters at this category. This is her chance now. And that certainly looked pretty competent. Solid lifting there.
Very wide stance in the starting position. Quite wide in the hips. Usually your starting position of your feet is the same position where you can jump as high as possible, because you want to be exerting as much force as possible into the platform. So if you're not sure where to put your feet, I would suggest just jumping as high as you can. So Parkle in picture just asking for quiet from the crowd.
Japper cool, staying pretty cool. 21 years old, holding this 2,000 strong, 2,500 strong crowd in the palm of her hand right now. Can she entertain? Very narrow in the grip.
Yep, need a bit more.
I mean, biomechanically there, but you can see her arms are quite short, so she can get away with a narrow grip, but so another couple of inches wider, it sure would make life easier. It would just be just above her head, and I mean, that's why you'd see the likes of Halil Mutlu back in the day. He was almost resting on his head. He barely had to pull it.
Well, the problem there was not much technically. The line of the bar was good, her position was good. The problem was quite simply she was an inch short of landing that bar at arm's length. Just see there, the jump, the powerful jump. All she's doing there is saying, come on, legs, wake up. I need more explosion. So
Chen leads. And we have the Belarusian in second with no more lifts. Ryu still has 2 to come. And yes, the Kazakh, 1 final 1. And she may well come out at 118 again. I think, having seen that, and exactly as you analysed, she just simply didn't pull it high enough. And there's no point in going heavier if you can't pull that weight high enough. That's why I was sort of thinking, of course, you're not going to change your grip on the day, but if she were to go an inch wider,
it'd be so much easier.
So much easier. She doesn't have to go as far.
There may be a reason for that. She may have too much discomfort in the wrists. That's
Indeed,
usually a reason why an athlete won't go any wider with the hands. But it would biomechanically make the lift a lot easier, because it would be less distance for the bar to travel. Right now, needs to use her legs.
Yep, simple physics, but she needs to explode here. Take her from 4th up into 1st. Good on her, nailed it. Tiny bit of flexion in the left arm perhaps, but surely she won't get called for that.
It's a good lift.
Yes, one referee wasn't happy. He's a brave man in this hall to call that a red. Let's have a look again.
That was shoulder movement, not elbow in my view. She just dropped her chest, the shoulders rotated. That's allowed.
Yeah, it's maybe a little ugly in terms of textbook stuff, but it's certainly allowed. Now, 2 lifts left for Ryu. Coming out at 120, 5 kilos up in her first. This is serious weights now.
Well, it was a risky attempt, taking a 5 kilo increase. She was out of the medals, but now catapults herself right up into gold medal position on the snatch. And position-wise, just fantastic. Really good technician.
What is it with the North Korean team? Always smiling in the bottom of snatch and smiling off stage.
Is that a smile or a grimace? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but I don't know if it's to make it look comfortable and casual, but great stuff. Caught that well at the bottom, dead stopped and up. So there's only 2 women left in the competition. Chen, of course, still has 2 cards to play, as it were, and she's going for 1-2-1 in her second. So only 3 kilos up, which shows you the Chinese did bring her in at quite a high weight. Her personal best, 120. So now above what she's done at the national championships.
No, it's forward. Oh, it's the skies, the frustration. And right now, we have Rial, who is just waiting in the warm-up room. Still has 1 attempt remaining, but they're now level pegging, and Rio has the advantage.
Well, she certainly gave it a good fight there, didn't she? There was no bottling it.
Just tipped forwards fractionally off the floor, put her onto her toes, and left the bar out in front.
Yeah, a lot of softer lifters would have given that one up early. If she gets even close to it, she's going to get that up. So here comes Ryu for her third and final. She can make it 3 out of 3, 122. And her body weight, 68.6. Chinese, 68.3. So she'll only have to match Chen.
Wouldn't surprise me if Chen moves hers back down now to 122. She's going to stick at 123. China still don't have the gold medal.
Well, that was 122 she came out for. She had posted 123 Chen from 121 that she just missed, so she could certainly come back down to 122 because it's the bar that matters. That's what rises. What's going to happen, or are they going to buy her more time with another change?
Well, they have to do it before the bar is loaded, and I would have thought the weight's already loaded. Yes, it is. I'm not sure why we're seeing a 123 attempt here.
Makes no sense to me. She's the lighter athlete. Are we reading that correctly? Yes, she is, yes. She only needs, well, she only needs actually 121 to go ahead of Ryu because she failed that lift. But anyway, she's going for 123, and this will take her from second into first. But more importantly, give her 5 kilos more going forward to the clean and jerk and the total. Last lift then of the snatch competition. She misses it. Ryu, for the People's Republic of Korea, will be the snatch world champion. She's going to fight. Oh, my goodness me. And just loses it.
Wow, she was fighting hard to save the lift from going behind, and then overcompensated as she stood up, launched the bar off the platform.
Well, you can see the Chinese coach there. He has a smile on his face because he can tell he has a very tough woman here, and she really did fight that.
Wow. She'll be very disappointed with that, having saved it from going behind. Just watch how hard she fights at the bottom. There, that bar should have gone backwards, held onto it, dropped her chest as she stood up, launched
wow. It towards the front referee. And yeah, sorry. Well, that's it. So Ryu Un-hui of the People's Republic of Korea, our only junior, is the world champion with 120 kilograms. Second place, Chen of China and Zapakul of Kazakhstan. Equal on weight with Chen, but body weight, I'm afraid, was that 2 grams the difference? It was. Goodness, she goes down to bronze. But we're going to move forward to the clean and jerk. It's all about the total, of course. That's the true world champion, and that'll be coming up after the break.